So if you're wondering why some relationships or potential relationships that you've been working on, why every time you talk to someone new, it just doesn't work out. Somehow it just fizzles out or something goes wrong where it ends up and it's just not working out for you. And what happens is it keeps repeating and you're carrying the same mistakes from the past into your new potential relationship and you just can't figure out why it's happening. And so in this video, I'm going to spend a lot of time talking about why this happens and how to fix it, inshallah. And I'm a relationship coach and I help people, Muslims specifically, with the dating process of how to find their spouse so that they get there in the most efficient way and to not waste their time. And so the first most important thing to know when it comes to finding someone is you have to do the work on self-concept. This is the foundation of all of this because when your self-concept is not solid, when it feels shaky, you are going to attract really negative results and you're going to keep repeating that. So no matter how much action you try, no matter how much like you've been trying for 10, 15 years, let's say, you are going to keep repeating that same mistake unless you get out of this rut of believing who you are and your worthiness and your identity as a woman, as a man, whatever. It just helps it when you don't have that solidified, you become that person that you're thinking. So I'll give you an example. Um, when you attract what you are, right? So if you think, you look at yourself and the main driving thought is, I don't know why no one's committing to me, like maybe I'm not worthy enough or maybe I'm not good enough, and that's the driving thought that you're having, you're going to keep getting those same exact results where every time you talk to someone new, if you see yourself as that, they're also going to see you as that. And they're going to be like, there's nothing different here because your insecurity comes up as you're talking and you can tell and not even you necessarily saying it, just your energy is just different than you being naturally authentically yourself when you're not having that thought. And so when you are believing, right, I'm not good enough, or I'm not good enough for men, or men don't find me attractive, or women don't find me attractive, and I'm just going to be single forever, and that's the driving thought, you are going to make that true every single time. And there is no amount of action that can like get you out of it because it's not about action, it's about how you see yourself and how you see what's possible for you. Right? So if your self-concept is like that, right? The negativity, you are going to attract negative results, which is why people always ask me like, what I don't know how to find good men. Like all the good men are like every time I talk to someone, they're just end up being like not that great, or same thing with women. And then I look into their minds and what they're thinking, and they are not thinking that great about themselves, right? And even on a mental, like on a conscious level, they think they're okay, but subconsciously they really don't think it's like they're deserving of a healthy relationship or they're worthy of it. And so when you're subconsciously believing it, that's what's going to come to life. And that's why it really helps to see what you're thinking specifically to change that belief. And how do we know this is true, right? Like there are so many people out there who, let's say character-wise or looks-wise, they're not that great, like society standards, right? But they end up easily finding someone. Why is that? Well, if you look into their mind, and I'm telling you because I've looked into their mind, it's for them, they don't have this drama about how they're not worthy enough to be in a relationship. They don't believe that about themselves. They believe, like, why wouldn't someone be with me? Like I'm such a catch. And what has happened is with time, a lot of people who have been trying a lot, and when I say trying, like just going on the apps with the same exact mindset over and over again, what happens is their mind is capturing all of that and using it as evidence of how like this is like 100% not possible for you. Maybe not 100%, but like this is like definitely not possible for you because every time we try, you fail. So what makes you think you trying again is going to get you the results you want? Therefore, you are unworthy of getting what you need or what you want. And it comes to that conclusion, and that's why your brain will stay on that and stick to that no matter how much you keep trying and trying and trying. And the thing is, right, especially as women are socialized to believe that if a man isn't committing to them or doesn't show them affection and love, that means they're not worthy of it. And so, especially single women who have been trying, if they are constantly trying to, find a relationship, but like they keep building up this belief of how they're not worthy because every man they talk to keeps rejecting them, that belief is going to keep getting stronger and your confidence is not as strong anymore. And so the goal here is not 100% confidence, but the goal is to make sure your beliefs about yourself are the main driving thought, and it's okay that you have doubts every now and then, like even every other day, whatever. But it's not the driving thought. That's not the main thing that's coming up for you. And so as an example, right, back when I did this work and I shifted, I remember thinking like I am such a catch. Like I am so ready to find someone that I'm ready to spend the rest of my life with. And I only want someone that I want, that they want me back. And I am not settling for anything less than that. And I'd rather be single than do anything less than that. So when I was in that energy constantly, when I ended up attracting much better potentials, first of all, because they saw me as like, oh, this girl doesn't mess around. Like she knows her worth, she knows her value. And you keep going. And so then when it comes to my husband, right, same thing. Like I showed up with that energy and I had doubts. And I had doubts like, oh, maybe I'm not good enough for this, or maybe he's too good for me, or whatever. That showed up, but it wasn't the main driving thought that was driving me. I was more aware of it than it was like taking over, right? So what do we do? I want you to, the only thing you get out of this video is knowing that you need to stop like constantly going on apps and seeing like keep trying without understanding and working on your self-concept. Your identity, your self-concept is what people will see you as. So if you see, and I gave this example on my Instagram, but if you see yourself as a 5-course meal and someone else looks at you and they're like a lean cuisine frozen meal energy and they come to you, you're not going to accept that. You're going to be like I'm good. Like I don't really need I'm good. I'm not looking for frozen food energy. I'm looking for a high quality caliber uh potential, right? And so but the thing is when you see yourself as frozen food, right? And you're like, it's good enough, but not really. And you're kind of like, you don't really see yourself as that great, subconsciously even. I'm not talking mentally, I'm consciously, subconsciously. You're going to allow anything and like to come in. And you're not even going to see the red flags because you're like, oh, this is how, like if I see myself as this, you're not going to have the proper goggles to or glasses and lens to see when someone's not acting right, and you're going to let that in, and that's how people end up in not the greatest situations. How do I know all this? Because I've been through it. I've been through it and I've learned and how every time I shifted my self-concept, I saw results like immediately in the way I think and the way I see people. And so it's so important to see what you're thinking in the first place. So let's start here. What is your self-concept? Your self-concept, or also known as your identity, is all the thoughts about you, what you think of yourself. Thumbs up. And so I want you to list out every single thought you have about yourself in the I am format. So I am not good enough. I am, even the positive ones, but list out all the negative ones that come up to your mind too. Why, like when I ask you, why aren't you married yet? What comes up for you, right? I am this. I am not this enough. I am not fit enough. I am not religious enough. I am too religious. I am all of those thoughts. I want you to just list all of them and take your time on this. Now, let's shift to the other side. What do you think the opposite gender thinks of you? And this is also very important because let's say you have a really solid self-concept, but like you're strong and like you're great, but then you're also having the thoughts like there are no good men out there and all men suck and all men see me as trash, and that's not going to work. So we also have to shift that mentality of like, okay, let's say your list of, if you're a man, like all women don't find me attractive, or men don't find me attractive, or men don't think I'm good enough. Whatever that thought is for you, I want you to list out that, and then also the what the opposite gender thinks of you. Okay, so those are two very important things. And I want you to, from the other part, the opposite gender, I want you to think of it like, men don't this to me. Like men don't like this about me. Like just write that. Okay. Now, the next step, also the third step is, and this is kind of also part of it, but I want you to think of what do you think Allah thinks of you? What does God think of you? And sometimes people have the thought, right, that like God is angry with me, that's why he's not giving me what I want. Or God hasn't written it for me, and this is why I'm never going to get it. And that is also a category that we have to clean up, because you have no idea what is written for you. And when you believe it's not written for you, that's what you make possible, because you're believing, well, it's not written for me, and so what's the point? And so you're making your dua like really half-assing it and be like, it's kind of like, I don't know, like, ya Allah, I really want this, but it's not really work. It's not, I don't think it's gonna happen. So just kind of like give it to me, ya Allah, but I don't know. So I think I said a bad word, so I'm sorry, whoever's watching. Um, but you see what I'm saying? Like you have to list out all of the thoughts you have about what God thinks of you and what you think of God. Sometimes the thought is, when it comes to what God thinks of you, um something like, God doesn't think I'm worthy enough, or I'm not even a good enough Muslim, so he's not going to answer my dua. All of that, you have to dump all of that onto a piece of paper. So like have 3 columns, right? And I'm actually going to have a workbook on my website that you can just get for free, inshallah. So you can either DM me or something. I'll have to post it. And then once you get that workbook, you can also do that work on there. But those 3 categories are the most important part before doing anything. Because what you think, you will attract. And if you don't think it's possible for you because you're not good enough, what you're saying in your dua is, Ya Allah, I don't think it's possible, and I don't think you can make it possible for me, because you're subconsciously believing it's not possible for you. So you're going to keep repeating that. So the goal here is to write down everything that you think about your self-concept, your self-identity, and we're going to shift it, and we're going to shift it into something that you actually feel that feels believable to you. And this is affirmations, but not in the way that you think. We're not doing positive affirmations. We're doing something that feels believable. So if we're saying, like, let's say men don't think I'm attractive enough, that's one sentence you have. We can change that to, my person will see me as attractive. There is one man out there that will see me as attractive. Okay? There aren't enough men out there. Let's say that's the sentence. Your new sentence is gonna be, I only need one person. I just need one person. I don't need a whole bunch of men that are not good enough. I just need one person, and I know that there is at least one person out there for me who have the same values and things that I want. I'm sure there is, right? And I'm gonna learn how to believe that. What else? Okay, let's say the thought, I'm not good enough. Okay, can you change that to believe I am a creation of God? And a creation of God is worthy because Allah created it. So you don't have a say whether it's good enough or not. So when we work on that, and then also like right? Like, so let's say I'm not pretty enough, okay? We go to the part where, okay, there are parts of me that are pretty, and there are parts of me that I'm not a fan of, but my person will find me attractive. So let's find another one. If I was worthy, oh, I'm not worthy enough of a healthy relationship. Okay, why not? Because because of my past. Okay, what does that have to do with your future? So we're kind of challenging all of it, right? We're challenging it and shifting it into a list of new beliefs that you want to practice. And this is the key point, you guys. People don't actually commit to this part. You write out all your new beliefs and you practice it every day on a daily basis. The when you wake up before you go to bed, and you have this list and you're just reading it and you're practicing it and you're ingraining it in your head daily, daily, daily. You're remembering, okay, what's what am I trying to shift into? I'm trying to shift into this version of me that feels like I am worthy and I do deserve love and I am open for it and Allah wants me to be married and I have beautiful intentions and I want to start a family and you start shifting into that mentality, and that is when you get to that point where you feel solid in your self-confidence, where if you get on the apps or just start talking to someone, you're not phased that much. Like you're not shook every time something doesn't work. Um, and so there's that. Okay. Your self-concept is the first thing you have to start on. And if you don't start on this and you go back out there and you keep all you're do and you just keep taking action without working on your self-concept, you're just gathering more evidence of how it's not possible for you. And so trust me on this. This is the work I've been working with hundreds and hundreds of people who are experiencing the same thing, and I've seen when the shift happen. When the shift happens, they feel a lot more at ease and relaxed to the point where, oh, okay, like I know where this is easy. Like as if you're back in your 20s and it's easy and there's no pressure and you're talking from your authentic self and people can actually see your real self and you're normal and you speak up when you want to, and you're just so comfortable just being yourself that people find that so refreshing and they want to be more around you. And so there we are. So that's the end of it. And so what happens is you're going to keep practicing this and you're going to make a promise to yourself to keep practicing this. And if you need help, this is what I do. I'm a relationship coach and I work with clients one-on-one for 6 months, and we work on this very rigorously to get you to a point where you feel confident in your self-concept. And we work on your self-compassion and work on how to stop shaming yourself and all the socializations that especially women and men have been going through of believing their worthiness depends on, for men, how much money they make, and for women, if they have someone that's committed to them. And so when we undo all of that, it feels so much easier to just feel at peace and at ease and to actually attract the person that you want. And so I'll have the link in the description and you can sign up for a consult to see how that works. And I hope this video was helpful. And if it was, you can also follow me on Instagram. I always post stuff on there to help you really shift your perspective. And I also have a group coming up, a group coaching program coming up. And so if you're also interested in that, just sign up in my email list or DM me and I can add you to the list. And we'll go from there. All right, inshallah, this helps you out. May Allah guide you all on your journey. And I will see you around.